Alright everyone, welcome back again to more Muv-Luv Alternative. Alright guys, this video is going to be a pretty long exposition on Sumika's origin, if you will. Without getting into too much detail, I'll let the video, explain itself for you and without any spoilers. So, yeah, without further ado guys, thank you all for the love and support, and I hope you all continue to enjoy. And let's get it on. What does that have to do with anything?
人間にとって自分の容姿は最も根源的なアイデンティティなのよ。
Answer the question.
人類の生化学技術や疑似生態技術がこれだけ急速に進歩した理由も同じ。戦闘で負傷し、顔が崩れたり手足を失った兵士に精神崩壊を起こさせることなく、心身ともに正常な状態で再び戦場へ送り出すために必要だから。
Okay, cool. But what does any of that have to do with the 00 unit?
気持ちはわかるけど、いい加減に認めたの？
Huh?
あんただってとっくにわかってるんでしょ？
Figured what out?
昨日見聞きしたことと今の話を普通に組み合わせればわかるでしょ？
No. You can't be saying what I think you're saying. That's insane.
つまり00ユニットは鏡スミカよ。00ユニットが鏡スミカの姿形をしているのはその素材になったのが鏡スミカだから。
That can't be true.
そう思うのは勝手だけど事実なの。鏡はどこかにいるはずよ。
But there's no way. It can't be her. Why? Why is this happening? How could Sumika be the 00 unit? You mean to tell me you turned this world Sumika into a pseudo life form? I was so relieved to find out she didn't exist in this fucked up world. And now you're telling me she's our secret weapon for winning the war? This is such bullshit. Wait, hang on a sec. But Sensei,
何よ。
aren't you the one who told me that Sumika didn't exist in this world?
言ってないわよ。
Yes, you did. Don't play dumb.
ごまかしてないわ。私はその話をあんたから聞いただけで、こっちからは何も言った覚えはないわよ。白金が初めてここに来た日、確かにあんたはそう言っていたわ。前のこの世界の私にそう言われたって。
Ah, shit. She tricked me again, god damn it. I can't believe I was so gullible. I should have known better than to fall for such a typical Yuko-sensei trick. And yet, I never once doubted her claim that Sumika didn't exist in this world. I'm such an idiot. Even after seeing her go and overwrite my death certificate in the UN's databases. Even yesterday, I intentionally ignored the possibility that I'd been lied to, all because I desperately wanted to believe it was true.
また事実から目をそらして逃げ出す気？何か目的があってこの世界に戻ってきたんじゃなかったの？なんだったらもう一度装置を動かしましょうか？
I'm not gonna run away. Don't jump to any conclusions, please. This has nothing to do with that. Just give me a little time to let this sink in, sheesh. I'm not gonna try and pin the blame on Yuko-sensei. That won't accomplish anything at this point. Sorry, I'm just a little frustrated by how naive I've been, that's all.
へえ。
I mean, I'm also pretty pissed at you, to be honest, but I recognize that's just a product of my own immaturity. I'm not gonna keep using my childish sense of right and wrong as an excuse to justify my own weakness. I'm done with arguing for the sake of arguing. I'm tired of blaming everyone else for my own shortcomings and stupid mistakes. I'm not gonna do it anymore. All that ever does is make things worse. That's something I had learned the hard way. I want to get to the point where I can actually face you as an equal someday. And when I get there, I'm going to take full advantage of your abilities and use them to help me achieve my own goals. So you don't have to worry about me running away again. I can promise you that much.
それは結構。そういう考え方は好きよ。
That said, I can't just change who I am overnight. All I can do for now is focus on improving myself and try to fake it till I make it.
まあ、そうでしょうね。
You probably know this from our discussions during the transfer experiments, but Sumika really does mean the world to me. I don't care if it's the parallel universe version of her, those feelings still apply. Maybe you already knew that, and planned this entire thing around the assumption that I'd fight my heart out for her sake. But if that's the case, I'm afraid you made a major miscalculation. I'm not mature enough to perform at my best with all these unanswered questions burning a hole in my gut. I'm not proud of that, but it's a fact. And sure, you could just tell me to deal with it and force me to go. But that could potentially backfire on you, right? Though knowing you, I'm sure you've already taken that into account. But that's kind of my point. You don't leave things to chance, so why would you entrust something as important as the 00 unit to someone like me? I'm guessing you must be pretty desperate. I mean, you're certainly not the kind of person who'd give me this gig just out of pity, so I'd have some place to stay. So, with that being said, I have a request to make.
何かしら?
I want you to tell me in as much detail as possible what the relation is between this world's version of Sumika and the 00 unit. Or at the very least, an explanation as to why she was chosen to become it. If you can just clarify that for me, I'll follow any order you might throw at me. No questions asked.
何もそこまで大行な話をしてくれなくても、いずれは教えるつもりだったんだけどね。
Really?
まあ、あんたの覚悟と成長っぷりが分かったから、よしとしましょう。話すのは構わない。だけど、あんたは本当に真実を知りたいのかしらね。
I won't be able to keep moving forward until I do.
タイミングって大事だと思うけど。
Yeah, and that time is now.
そう、分かった。じゃあ、あんたの成長を信じることにしましょう。
Thank you.
で、何から話す?
Okay, so just to clarify, you're saying the 00 unit doesn't just look like Sumika. She actually is Sumika.
そうよ。この世界に存在する唯一の鏡スミカだった存在よ。
What's left of her? What does she mean by that? Okay then, like I said before, the first thing I want to know is, why was Sumika chosen to become the 00 unit? You were comparing it to reconstructive surgery earlier, so I'm curious what kind of condition she was in before you turned her into that. I mean, she was still alive, right? Given what she did to my records, I suppose she probably just erased Sumika's.
何をもって生きているとするかという定義にもよるけど、間違いなく生きていたわ。
Then where has she been up until now? If she'll tell me that much, then even if worse comes to worse and I have to go through yet another loop, I might at least be able to find her. Not that I'm gonna half-ass it this time just because I know I can always retry, of course. But until I can get rid of whatever made me a causality conductor, I'll never break out of the loop, even if I do defeat the beta. Not to mention, I'm in a special unit now, one that gets sent on only the most dangerous missions. Assuming the other Yuko Sensei was correct and a new loop begins every time I die, there's a good chance that might happen before the beta are completely eradicated. Even if Sumika still has to become the 00 unit for us to stand a chance against the beta, I'd at least like to meet her before it happens. And if we can find a way to beat the beta without her becoming the 00 unit, I'd like to know where to find her once the war is over.
どこにいたも何も。
Huh?
あんたは鏡スミカに会っていたわよ。それも頻繁にね。
What?
ついてらっしゃい。見に行けばわかるわ。
She was the brain.
確か一番下の紐を親指にかけて、真ん中の紐をまた親指で取るんです。
Kasumi?
それで、
Sumika?
そして両手を広げます。あ、ごめんなさい。最初からやりましょう。
あんただってなんとなく想像していたんじゃないの?
About what?
鏡スミカの居所よ。
Huh?
この紐をここにかけて、
ヤシロの能力は知っているわよね。
反対側に指を通して。
ヤシロがなぜここに四六時中いたのか、これで分かったでしょ。
Huh?
こっちにも通します。
ヤシロだけが唯一の話し相手だったのよ。
What?
いつまで目をそらしているつもり？ここまで来ておじけづいた？
No.
真実が知りたいって言ったのはあんたなの？
Wait, are you saying what I think you're saying? Yeah, it was her brain. That's what I figured.
そういうこと。
That thing was Sumika?
タケルちゃんにはわからない。
Sumika? That brain was Sumika all along? No. No, this can't be happening. And here I was always thinking about how creepy and weird it was. But why? How did she end up like that? What did she ever do to deserve this? Was this part of your research too? You didn't turn her into some sort of human guinea pig, did you? May had told us a ghost story that went something like that in the previous timeline. What if that wasn't just a rumor, and Sumika was one of the test subjects? I can't...
1999年8月5日に始まった明星作戦。
Huh?
いわゆる大東亜連合軍による本州島奪還作戦は2発の G 弾によって人類の勝利で終わった。
Right. Okay, Operation Lucifer.
その結果、人類は初めて敵の背部を占領した。この横浜基地がその上に建設されたことは前に話してあるわね。
Yes, you have.
背部内に残存するベータを殲滅するために最深部を目指して突入した部隊が発見したのよ。ベータの捕虜になっていた人間たちを。
The beta took prisoners?
正確に言えば人間だったものよ。
Huh?
彼らが見たものは青白く光る無数の柱。
Glowing pillars?
その中にはおそらく捕虜になっていたと思われる人間たちの脳と脊髄が収められていた。
Is that why they killed Marimo-chan? They ate the top of her head so they can get her brain?
何百とあった脳髄で生きていたのはたった一つだけだった。
And that was...
それが加賀美澄香よ。ベータの捕虜になって唯一生還した人類。
The only one?
もちろん名前が判明したのは作戦から数週間後、ヤシロがリーディングで読み取ったのよ。人間を脳と脊髄だけの状態で生かしたままにしておく技術は残念ながら人類はまだ持っていない。この基地にあるベータが作った施設が稼働状態のまま維持されている理由は加賀美澄香を生かしておくためなのよ。
Why would the beta keep human brains captive?
私たちもその時初めて知ったのよ。ベータがそんなことをしてたんだってね。
But what were they even doing with them?
ヤシロの集めたイメージから推測できるのは人間の何かを研究していたらしいってことだけ。
But they don't even see us as living creatures.
人間だって生命体ではない岩石や金属の研究をするでしょ。とにかくベータが人間に興味を持ち始めていたのだけは事実。そしてベータと直接コンタクトしていながら生存した人間、つまり加賀美澄香の存在は私たちを狂気させた。
Godsend.
そりゃそうでしょ。オルタネイティブ4はベータに生命体と認識される疑似人類00ユニットを創生することが目的なのよ。
Right.
それに最も適した組対候補が手に入ったんだから喜んで当然でしょ。
Ideal candidate.
そう、00ユニットになるため、もっとストレートに言えば材料になるための候補者のことよ。
Raw material.
A01 部隊はね、もともと00ユニットの組対候補者を養成するために編成されたのよ。
Huh?
この基地の A 士訓練学校はその前の段階である候補者の選抜をする機関として設立されたのよ。
教えておくが、我が部隊は全員同じ A 士訓練学校を卒業している。いや、むしろ A01 部隊のために第 207A 士訓練学校は設立されたのだ。
So that's what it was. But why would you send such a valuable candidates out on the most life-threatening missions?
その程度の任務で死ぬような因果を持った人間に人類の未来は任せられないのよ。
When you say causality, do you mean like they don't have luck and timing on their side?
運とか言われているものを因果律量子論的に言えば、各個人に先天的に備わっているより良い確率分岐する未来を引き寄せる能力に他ならない。それは平行世界から漏れ出す情報を大脳の未使用領域で受け取り、無意識のうちに的確な行動を選択して正解である世界を選び取る能力なのよ。
Right. I think the other Yuko sensei mentioned that's how fortune tellers and psychics do their thing.
つまりそれこそが00ユニットの組対候補者に最も求められる適性なのよ。
I see.
徴兵検査が行われた際、身体測定とともにそういった適性が徹底的に調べられているのよ。
So then everyone from my old squad.
全員組対適性はあるわ。ただし B 分隊は政治的背景を持つ人材で固められていたから、国連軍総司令部からの命令で任官を遅らせるために様々な工作がされていたのよ。
Huh. In what way?
例えばそう、総戦技評価演習の合格条件が他の分隊よりも厳しく設定されていたりとかね。
So then why they were really political hostages?
人質と取るか帝国への配慮と取るかは解釈次第でしょうね。
But we ended up getting commissioned ahead of schedule in the end.
人質としての利用価値がなくなったのか、それとも配慮すべき理由が消滅したのか。いずれにせよ00ユニット完成のめどが立ったことも大きな理由でしょうけどね。
I'm not sure I understand though. Why did the 00 unit need to be made from a human being who meets these criteria?
今までの説明では理解できない？
Well, we pilot our TSFs by indirect thought control, right? So normal computers are already capable of reading and digitizing human thoughts.
00ユニットに要求されている役割は通訳じゃない。ベータとコミュニケーションを成立させることで情報を収集する。わかりやすく言えば諜報員ね。
So she's a spy.
あんたは前のこの世界の私が半導体150億個分の並列処理装置が完成しなかった運って言っていたわね。
Yes.
それこそがボトルネックなのはこの世界でも同じだった。半導体150億個分の並列処理装置。我ながら回りくどい言い方をしたものね。あんたの話じゃ計画が取り潰されて自暴自棄になっていたらしいけど、情報だけは漏らさなかったんだから、さすが私よね。半導体150億個分の並列処理装置、それは00ユニットの頭脳にあたるもの、量子電導脳のことなのよ。
A quantum conductive brain?
ベータ由来の高温超伝導物質グレイ9で作られた人工の脳髄よ。
Sorry, you've lost me. What the hell is Grey 9?
ロスアラモス研究所のウィリアム・グレイ博士が発見した9番目の人類未発見元素って意味よ。グレイ9の臨界温度は309ケルビン、すなわち室温以上で超伝導が可能な物質なのよ。
And how did they get their hands on it if it's only found in beta hives?
ロスアラモスはね、カナダに落ちたベータユニットの調査研究を独占した アメリカの国立研究機関なのよ。
America, huh? That explains it.
まあ恨み事はどうでもいいわ。今は私たちもそれを手に入れているんだから。
From the high below this base, I assume.
その通り。アメリカが明星作戦に強制介入したのも数々の人類未発見元素の独占が狙いだったのよ。目論見は外れたけど。
I see.
話を戻すわ。量子電動脳は量子コンピュータと同じ原理で半導体150億個分の並列処理装置以上のスペックを実現しているの。誤解覚悟で簡単に言うと、00ユニットが存在する全ての他の世界の量子電動脳がつながっていて並列処理をするのよ。
That's insane.
そうね。だけどそこに人格や人間性が宿らなければただの機械と同じ00ユニットは完成しないわ。あんたがこの世界に現れた頃はその量子電動脳に数値化した人格を移植する段階でつまずいてしまっていたのよ。
So then everything else is already...
ええ、完成していたわ。
I see. So this whole time, there had been an artificial body made to look exactly like Sumika somewhere in this base. On some floor I didn't have security clearance to
組
access.
対候補者の経験や記憶、技能や性格はそのまま量子電動脳に移植されなければ意味がない。00ユニットは人類でなければ意味がないの。
And that's why you enrolled the most promising candidates in the Surface Pilot Training Academy.
そうよ。地球の運命を握る存在となるんだから、人類に対する忠誠心や使命感、強靭な精神、そして軍人としての各種技能は必須でしょ。
Sure, makes sense.
あんたが持ってきた数式のおかげで問題は解決した。だけど鏡スミカには軍人の技能は備わっていない。理論やデータは当然入力済みだけど、だからって実践できるかどうかは別問題。そこで本来お役御免の A01 部隊がその代わりを務めることになったってわけ。
So I was right then. When the captain said we're supposed to protect a certain something, she was talking about the 00 unit.
もともと00ユニットになるための教育を施されている A01 部隊は00ユニットと連携をするには好都合だからね。
So then the others aren't potential candidates anymore.
依然として鏡スミカのスペアであることは変わらないわ。だけど鏡スミカが完全稼働すればこれ以上の犠牲者は出さなくて済むわ。
What do you mean by that?
00ユニットになるということは人間という生物ではなくなることを意味する。 A01 部隊の損耗が激しい理由は何も戦死者だけが原因じゃなかったからね。
You mean some of them were incapacitated due to human experimentation?
廃人？残念だけどそんなに都合の良い部分だけを選んで移植するなんて細かいゲートはまだできないの。心臓を動かす、呼吸をする、そういう情報も全てごっそり移植するのよ。脳から全ての情報を失った生物がどうなるか、つまりそういうこと。
Meaning they die in the process.
00ユニットに外見だけじゃなく人間と寸分たがわない疑似器官や生体機能を与えられているのはそういう理由。存在するべき器官がなくなると脳の生理バランスが崩れ精神崩壊を起こし、最終的には人間だった部分は死んでしまうのよ。それを維持する機能だけは未だにベータの技術に頼らざるを得ないんだけどね。
Then does that mean you and I just killed this world Sumika effectively?
ええ、そうよ。でも直接手を下したのは私。あんたは何も知らず手伝っただけ。
Why does this keep happening? Just when I think I've overcome one hurdle, reality slaps me in the face with some other cruel, fucked up truth. Is this part of what it means to be a causality conductor? Do I just have to grin and bear it? even if she was nothing more than a brain and spine at that point, she was still alive, right? And yet, by bringing those equations back here for the sake of the world and all of humanity, I inadvertently had a hand in Sumika's death. That's not something I can easily accept, even if she was just a brain.
定義や解釈はいろいろあるけど、ある意味、鏡スミカはあの状態で生きていた。そして今、鏡スミカだった脳髄の生命活動はすでに停止している。残っているのはただの標本。
The hell did you just say?
鏡スミカを殺したのは私。レータは生きたままバラバラにしただけ。どうしたの？私が許せない？
Oh, oh, it's like you want me to be angry at you. We're good.
貸してあげる
Huh?
わ。武器を持ったままじゃこのフロアには来られないはずよね。
What are you playing at?
許せないなら私を撃ちなさい。遠慮はいらないわ。あんたなら片手で撃っても外さないでしょ。どうしたの？あんたの大切な鏡スミカを殺した人間が目の前にいるのよ。何も教えないで鏡スミカを殺す片棒をあんたに担がせた張本人なのよ。なんなら後ろ向いてあげようか？それとも場所を変える？ヤシロの前じゃやりにくいでしょうからね。
There's no need for any of that.
じゃあ早く終わらせてちょうだい。
Please put the gun away. I don't need it.
そうね。あんたなら素手でも十分人を殺せるんだったわね。
Stop it. I'm doing nothing of the sort. Now put that away.
何？人を殺すのが怖いの？自分の手は汚せないってこと？
No, it's not that.
じゃあなんだって言うのよ。
You seem pretty eager for me to want to kill you.
言ってごらんなさい。なんだって言うの？
人の上に立つということは多くの責任を背負い多くの決断を下さねばならぬということです。国家や組織はそのよって立つところが違えば各々に理想や信念が異なるもの。それは人も同じです。何かなそうとすれば必ずそれを良しとする者と悪しとする者がいるでしょう。されどそれぞれの立場に立ってものを見ることができれば各々がよりどころとする正しさも見えてきましょう。そして悲しいことですがそれらすべての者たちの望みを満たす道が常にそなたの前にあるとは限りません。その時そなたは何によって決断しどのような道をかの者たちに指し示すのか。その時もしそなたに迷いがあったなら原点を顧みること、立ち止ま、そして自らの手を汚すことを厭うてはならないのです。
Sensei, I don't think you're the kind of person who do these things just for the fun of it. You're just doing what you have to for the sake of all mankind, right?
あんたにとって鏡スミカはその程度だったの？
No. As far as I'm concerned, Sumika can never be replaced.
もう私を殺してもオルタネイティブ4は達成されるわ。そういう段取りはつけてある。あとは00ユニットの調律だけ。それはあんたがいれば大丈夫よ。
I already told you, it has nothing to do with that. I'm just a normal guy, you know? So the closer I am to someone, the harder it hits me when something happens to them. And more than that, it's just me being a pushover. I get so easily distracted by other people's problems, even when I know my own objective is more important. Like what happened with Her Highness and the old woman at Mount Tengen. It's like I just keep making the same mistake over and over again. Every time I think I finally got my act together, something new happens and throws it all out the window. That said, I do feel like my resolve is much firmer now than it ever was before, so I'd like to think it won't be a problem anymore. If I'm being completely honest, it's really hard for me to accept the fact that Sumika's the 00 unit. It's all I can do to just cope. But from what you've told me today, it sounds like this was always going on behind the scenes, even in the previous timeline. I just didn't know it was, right?
そうね。
And to be frank, the way Kasumi acted like her didn't make me wonder from time to time. Did make me wonder. But in the end, I always shrugged it off and convinced myself I should be glad Sumika didn't have to live in this messed up world. Which means, if you include the previous loop, I've gone several years now without ever once realizing that Sumika was here. Here I am saying she means the world to me, that she can never be replaced, and yet I was completely oblivious. She was right there under my nose the whole time and I couldn't even recognize her. When I think about it like that, I can't help but wonder if my feelings for her were really as deep as I thought they were. Hell, you could even make the argument that my feelings for her were highly dependent on her physical appearance, and I have no rebuttal. I guess at the end of the day, I'm probably just afraid of getting my hands dirty or coming off as a bad person. That thing was always just a creepy brain in a tube to me, but now that I know it was Sumika, I'm suddenly all broken up about what she did. That's some hypocritical bullshit. And I finally realized there's no point pretending otherwise. Until I actually start doing something differently, I can't expect things to change for the better, right? I got no one to blame for this but myself. Sure, maybe you were the one who actually pulled the trigger, so to speak. And yeah, if I'm being honest, it does piss me off to think all the shit you've been doing behind my back. But, I mean, somebody has to do the dirty work, right? Otherwise, we're just gonna go extinct. I don't want to be the judgmental coward anymore. The one that gets up on their soapbox and complains in hindsight about shit they couldn't possibly understand. Besides, I helped you of my own free will. I could try to shift the blame by saying I didn't know any better, but that won't change what happened to Sumika. And anyway, even if she is just a machine now, with the weight of the world on her shoulders, I still think she'd rather be the 00 unit than live the rest of her life as a brain in a stasis tube. I don't agree with the notion that life is always better than death, or that being kept alive is always a good thing.
命があれば良いという単純な問題ではない。生きているのと生かされているのとではまるで違う。そこに自分の意志があるかどうかが問題なのだ。それが反映できるかどうかが問題なのだ。タケルも考えてみてほしい。自分の大切なものが自分の意志とは無関係に奪われてしまうのだ。
Sumika had everything but her brain and spine stripped away by the beta, but now she can see things with her own eyes again and touch things with her own hands. She can speak to others and listen to how they respond. Who cares if it's a fake body? Having the ability to shape her own future is way more important than that. Maybe I have no right to make that decision for her, but that's a responsibility I'm willing to bear. I want to see this through to the end and get the 00 unit tuned to perfection. And then I'll protect it for as long as it takes to save this world, assuming I'm lucky enough to survive that long. I'm pretty sure there's a reason she had to be the one to become the 00 unit, something only Sumika would be able to do. In that sense, you could say it's her destiny to become the 00 unit and save humanity. Which kind of puts a new spin on the question of why I was sucked into this world and unwittingly roped into this mess. Probably because Sumika wanted you a part of it. She will always want you a part of her life, non-stop anyway. I'm no expert in the quantum causality theory, but I feel like it's because that was my destiny, something only I could do.
私は混乱した挙句、部下、同期の仲間を全員死なせてしまったわ。皮肉よね。戦争のせいで教師になれなかった私が英士訓練学校の教官をやっているんだから。でもそれがあの時私が生き残った生き残らせてもらった意味だと思っているわ。一人でも多くの英士を1秒でも長生きさせるためにその経験を生かす。
I have to follow through with this. It's the only way I can ever atone. Not to mention, I still need to fix all the other worlds that got roped into this mess. I'm sure you already know this, but the other you told me that if I can eliminate the cause of this, then all the effects will follow suit. Or at the very least, I can fix all the timelines that originally branched off this one. Isn't that right?
そうよ。あんたを因果動態にした原因を取り除けば可能だわ。
So if by chance it was Sumika, that would mean I have to eliminate her in order to retain and fix every other parallel universe. Oh, that's gonna suck if that's the case. So she really did know everything then. She knew I'd be bringing the causalities for Sergeant Jinguji's death and Sumika's tragic fate to the world when I left. Which means she also knew what would happen to their other selves, and how everyone's memories of me would be strewn across the multiverse. And of course, she knew I wouldn't be able to take it, and would come running back to this world. She predicted all of it. But even so, I'm the one who chose to run away. She didn't force me to. Trying to pin the consequences on her would just be pathetic. I can't keep blaming others for my mistakes. I need to take responsibility for what I've done. I know that everything stems from this world, so even if I do get rid of whatever made me into a causality conductor, that won't change how events played out here. But if there's a world I can help save, especially the one that I ruined by running away to it, I want to do everything I can. I'm going to stop wallowing in my own misery every time something goes wrong or challenges me emotionally. I know I must sound like a broken record at this point, but I really am done letting my emotions get the best of me in the heat of the moment. I won't hesitate to run away ever again. Once I finish the job and done what I came here to do, that's when I'll let myself cry. So don't worry. I'm going to destroy the beta, no matter what it takes.
それは頼もしいわね。あっちでは相当揉まれたわね。
You knew exactly what was going to happen to that world, didn't you?
そう。
You gave me a warning before I left, said I might just erase myself, and you were right. When I realized what that meant, I actually was contemplating suicide.
そういう楽な道に逃げずに戻ってきたことには素直に感心したわ。その後のあんたを見てたら不安になって送り返したくなったけど。
You did?
それはしないから安心して。あっちの私が今度送り返したら怒鳴り込むって。
Huh? You talked to her? How the hell did you do that?
あんたと一緒にこの世界に来た白衣があったでしょ。あれのポケットに手紙が入っていたのよ。
Oh, right. That explains it. That makes a lot more sense. She probably wrote out everything that happened over there. I'm guessing most of it was stuff this Yuko-sensei had already predicted, but it would at least given her confirmation.
確かにあんたは成長したよね。逃げ出す前とは大違いよ。
Oh, I can't take credit for that. That was all you, in fact. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're tooting your own horn.
この状況で気の利いた嫌味まで言えるようになったなんて。あんたへの評価をさらに修正する必要があるわね。
Oh yeah? Well, much obliged.
じゃあ、今後はその成長に見合った扱いをしてあげなきゃね。
And what does that entail?
とりあえず、情報開示のレベルをもう少しだけ上げることにするわ。
Ooh, I don't know about that. You know what they say, ignorance is bliss and all that.
冗談でもそんな甘ったれたこと言わないで。さっきの話だって賭けみたいなものだったんだから。
Risk? What risk? Actually, I guess I see where she's coming from. I already ran away once, so she really was making a gamble by divulging all that to me. It was certainly more than I needed to know for the purpose of my tuning job.
手に入れた情報を活かせもしないのに、ただ知りたいなんていう無責任なガキに付き合ってる暇はないわ。
Yeah, makes sense.
逃げ出す前のあんたはまさにそうだった。だからその都度情報を小出しにしていただけ。今のあんたにはそこまで話しても大丈夫だと評価されているってことを自覚しなさい。
I do.
それに自分の意志でこの世界に戻ってきたのを忘れないことね。
Of course. She's right. If I heard all of this back on day one, I would have thrown in the towel right away. That means she wouldn't have gotten as much out of me as she did, so she made the right call as much as I hate to admit it. I'm still pretty pissed off about a lot of things, but right now, I got no choice but to do Yuko-sensei's bidding. If I ever want to save humanity and eliminate what made me a causality conductor, I'm gonna need her. I don't have a lot of options, and she's my best at making it happen.
それじゃあそろそろこっちの話を始めていいかしら。
Are you gonna tell me how to tune the 00 unit?
まあそんなところね。その前に一つやることがあるけど。
Is she scheming something again?
00ユニットの調律がうまくいったらどんなことが起こるかを先に教えておくわね。 目標が見えている方が作業しやすいでしょ。
Meaning you're only gonna tell me the bare minimum right now.
その通り。時期が来たら詳細を伝えるわ。口だけじゃなく、自分がそれに足る人材だということを証明してみせなさい。
Understood.
調律が完了した00ユニットは運用評価試験の後、最前線で情報収集を行う予定。
The front lines? We're not just gonna use the beta you've got in captivity?
当然それもやるわよ。だけど各個体の情報よりもベータの社会構造や侵略目的、弱点といった戦略的価値のある情報が欲しいのよ。
Okay, but how are you going to get that kind of intel? She didn't say I couldn't ask questions, so might as well. Worst that could happen is she'll refuse to answer.
00ユニットにはヤシロと同程度のリーディングとプロジェクション能力が付加されているのよ。
Huh?
オルタネイティブ4は3の成果を全て摂取しているんだから、そんな便利な能力を使わないわけないでしょ。
Yeah, guess you got a point.
だけど00ユニットと人工 ESP 発現体は本質的に同じ問題を抱えている。能力の有効範囲だから、戦略的価値がある情報を得るには最前線ベータハイブに接近しなければならない。最終的にハイブ突入部隊と同じ任務を負うことになるわ。
Sumika's gonna have to go right to the middle of the enemy territory.
さっきも説明したけど A01 部隊が00ユニットの直縁につくことになる。その中でも事情を深く知っているあんたには作戦中の臨機応変な対応を期待しているわ。
Okay.
00ユニットの操縦訓練はもう始まっているけど、運用評価試験までには調律でもある程度の成果を出さなきゃいけないんだから、白金は大忙しね。
How much time do I have?
1週間後の12月25日よ。
That's only a week from now. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do yet. So maybe that'll be plenty of time, but it sure doesn't feel like it. I know we're on a tight schedule here, but damn. I'll make it work.
泣き言や恨み言を言わなくなったわね。結構。
I mean, it's not like I'm totally emotionless now. I'm just realized there's no point in complaining about each and every little thing. Just gotta focus on making things happen. I can groan about once the job's done.
00ユニットの使い方は分かったと思うけど、実はそこに大問題があってね。
And what's that?
直縁専任の部隊だけじゃなく、当然作戦に従事する全軍で00ユニットを守るように動くんだけど、使える部隊がまだまだ足りないのよ。
What do you mean?
ストレートに言えば、この基地のほとんどの部隊が戦力にならないってこと。トライアルの時の惨状見たでしょ。せっかく OS を最新の XM3 に換装してあげたのに、がっかりよ。
The day Sergeant Jinguji died, when the beta attacked our base out of nowhere.
この1週間でどれだけの部隊、いえ、兵士がものになるかね。まあ別の手は打ってあるけど。
I mean, I'm not one to talk, but to be fair, they did catch us completely off guard.
横浜基地は後方だって勘違いしてふぬけていたのよ。日本も最前線なのよ。
But almost all of our forces were unarmed to participate in the trial. And like you said, aside from my squad in A01, it was everyone's first time using the XM3. Do you have to be that critical of them?
A01 とあんたたちについては満足しているわ。あんたも起動だけで何十体ものベータを相手にし続けたんだからね。
I mean, I was just...
後方ボケした連中の寝ぼけ面にはちょうどいい冷や水だったでしょうね。
Well, we're definitely a lot more on edge now, that's for sure.
苦労して泉にベータを調達させた甲斐があったってもんよ。
Procure? Beta? What is she talking about? Sensei?
あれ以来基地の正規軍は渋々だった XM3 の完熟訓練も顔色を変えてやっているらしいからね。
Sensei?
何？
I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say.
そう？
I mean, you're making it sound like you orchestrated the entire thing.
やっとわかったの？おめでたいわね。公式発表は代謝機能低下処置装置の事故で再活性化した研究用のベータが逃げ出したことになっているわ。
Research specimens. You had live beta in the base?
佐渡島からベータが来るってあんたが教えてくれたから準備万端で捕まえに行けたわ。
Huh?
ベータは人間の都合で動いているわけじゃないでしょ。奴らの行動は予測不能よ。どう動くかわからないベータの移動経路が全て分かっていたから捕獲は比較的簡単だったわ。
Effortless.
先月発生したベータ新潟上陸の際には2名が戦死し1名が重傷を負い病院送りとなった。その任務内容は戦闘の監視と記録、そして生きたベータサンプルの回収だった。
I see. So that's how that happened. And all because I forewarned her. 2 people died and another was gravely injured, and you call that effortless? No. That's just the way this world is. So then, that's on me too. I had a hand not just in Sumika's death, but in the deaths of Sergeant Jinguji and those members of A01, and so many people on this base.
使ったら
Huh?
いつでもいいのよ。
I won't pretend I wasn't partially responsible for all this, but even so, how goddamn cool can this woman possibly be? And yet, while I'm furious with her, while I'm so disgusted I could puke, without people like her, we'd never stand a chance against the beta. If we didn't have people who were capable of such atrocities, humanity would have gone extinct ages ago. God damn it. Let's
話を
move on. We only have 7 days before the assessment. We can't waste any time. What?
あんた男の顔になってきたわね。
Stop making fun of me. I may look calm, but I'm pretty damn furious right now.
それでいいのよ。
Huh?
何も感じなくなったらベータと同じよ。
That kinda contradicts what you usually tell me, but okay.
感情をコントロールしろと言っているだけ。感情をなくせとは言っていない。
I know that.
感情は人に喜びをもたらすけれど、この世で最も人を苦しめるものでもある。感情をなくすということは、その苦しみから逃げることよ。感情が与えてくれる喜びを犠牲にしてね。感情をコントロールすることは、苦しみに立ち向かい、それに打ち勝つこと。
Something I'm sure you're very experienced in, huh?
その結果、ささやかな喜びを享受できるなんて、うまくできてるものね。
Sensei.
これからあんたと私が進む先には死ぬことすら生ぬるいと感じるほどの地獄が待っているわ。その地獄に垂らされたか細い糸が00ユニットなのよ。
I see.
それを完成させるのは白金、あんたの仕事よ。
I know.
自分のことで精一杯のガキに00ユニットの調律なんて絶対にできない。これは男でなければ成し得ない仕事なの。これで本当の意味で任せられるわ。
Sensei.
今度はうまくいくと思います。
Sumika.
今鏡スミカは人間的な感情を閉ざしてしまっている。
Blocked off her emotions?
今の鏡スミカは人間ではないのよ。つまり00ユニット本来の仕様と大きくかけ離れているということ。
Then, what was that breakdown she had yesterday?
ベータに対する闘争本能だけは異常なほどよ。わからない話じゃないけど。
Yeah, me neither.
シミュレーター訓練でのデータは大筋問題ない。だけどこの前のような状態になると敵味方関係なく攻撃してしまうのよ。現時点では00ユニット搭乗機の非武装化は考えていない。万が一のケースを想定して複座型の開発も進めているわ。
Two-seater TSF, huh? They used those in Alternative 3 to get the genetically modified espers near the beta.
鏡スミカの感情を取り戻す。それがあなたの仕事。
So I'm basically a personal therapist, huh? You're right, the old me couldn't have handled that. We just got done talking about how important it is to not run away from the pain, but in Sumika's case, I don't think she could help it, not after what the beta did to her. If you want to get someone to open their heart again after a traumatic experience like that, you can't go easily discouraged that you flip the table and storm off when things don't go your way. And in this case, we're talking about humanity's only shot at survival. You'd be insane to leave her in care of just anyone.
言ったでしょ。これは男の仕事なのよ。
Yeah. I'm not saying I approve of all of this, I still don't think her methods are ethically justified. But at the end of the day, everything Yuko-sensei's done to me was a test to make sure I was man enough for the job. Though, obviously, I know that's not the only reason she did the things she did. Yuko-sensei's willing to do whatever it takes to destroy the beta and save humanity. Even if it means people she knows have to die. Even if it kills her. This world's messed up to be sure. And yet, everyone I've met here seems to share that outlook. My squad mates, their parents, Tsukuyomi-san, Captain Sagiri, Major Walken, and even Her Highness. Hell, I'll bet this world Sumika was the same way too.
生きたまま脳と脊髄にされるってどういう気分なんでしょうね。
Huh?
何も感じない、何も見えない、一切の感覚を奪われても生き続けるってどういう感じなんでしょうね。そんな魂の牢獄から解放されて、今鏡スミカは何を考えているのかしら。
I mean, can't Kasumi tell?
さまざまな情報が洪水のように流れ込んでいるせいでハレーションを起こしているらしいわ。
Sensory overload?
具体的な意味を持つイメージは全く読み取れないそうよ。
I see. Yeah, I can only imagine how overwhelming it must be to suddenly regain all 5 of your senses after living without them for so long. I guess that makes sense.
行きますね。えい。
Whoops.
それでもあんたには反応したのよ。あんただけにはね。
Sumika.
このままでは00ユニットとしては役に立たないわ。いよいよとなれば次の候補の選定に入らなければならない。
Meaning?
鏡スミカほどの素体適性を持つ人間は今のところいない。だからこの段階に持ってこれるかすら怪しいけどね。
So you just be killing off members of A01 in vain then?
00ユニットの完成は国連上層部を狂気させている。そしてオルタネイティブ5推進派は完全に追い詰められた形になった。あんな騒ぎまで起こして妨害工作をしてきたアメリカも今では手のひらを返したように協力的。
Wow.
だけど成功の期待が大きいほど失敗した時の失望も大きい。00ユニットが使い物になりませんでしたなんてことになったら即日オルタネイティブ5発動なんてことになりかねないわ。
Yeah, we definitely can't let that happen.
ごめんなさい。失敗です。もう一度やりま。
Kasumi.
普段あんなにおとなしいヤシロがまるでお姉さんみたいでしょ。
Yeah, she does.
あの子は生まれが特殊だから人間らしい思い出が全くないのよ。
I know.
鏡スミカが発見されて。私たちはヤシロを使ってベータの情報なんかを引き出そうとしたけど思ったほどの情報は得られなかったわ。でもヤシロのリーディングで一つはっきりしたのは鏡スミカの精神はいつ崩壊してもおかしくない状態だってことだった。外部からの刺激が全くない状態でいれば当然そうなるわ。逆に不思議なのは私たちに発見されるまでベータはどうやってそれを防いでいたのかということ。方法が全くわからないから そのままヤシロに鏡スミカの話し相手をする任務が与えられたのよ。それ以来あの子は昼も夜もずっと鏡スミカのそばにいて、言葉を使わずに脳に直接語りかけ続けたわ。そして多分鏡スミカの記憶や思い出にもたくさん触れたのよ。
I see. So then those times Kasumi acted like Sumika or talked like Sumika. It wasn't just my personal memories of Sumika she was emulating.
人らしい思い出が自分のオリジナルが全くないヤシロはいつしかそれを本当の思い出だと信じ込んでいるんじゃないかしらね。
ここから離れたら私いなくなります。わからなくなるの怖い。タケルちゃんにはわからない。
だからおそらくヤシロにとって鏡スミカはもう一人の自分なのね。
Kasumi. Thank you, Kasumi. You saved Sumika, didn't you? You gave her someone to talk to when she was all alone in this cold, dark room. You were her one and only friend when she was just a brain in a tube. You even made sure to include her in our Christmas party. You didn't even want to board the shuttle. You just wanted to stay with her till the very end. I'll bet it was Sumika that changed your mind. She probably told you to forget about her and save yourself. And to think I promised I'd help you make fond memories of your own. I'm so sorry.
指下です。あ、違いました。
語り続けることで読み取ることで空っぽの部分を埋めていくなんて悲しいわね。
下手ですね。もう一度やってみます。
自分の心の空洞を他人の思い出で補おうとするなんて悲しすぎるわね。
もう一度やります。
何にしても借り物に過ぎないけどね。それは自分じゃないんだから。
Well, then we're gonna have to change that. Officially.
とにかく運用評価試験までには一定の成果を出しなさい。
Alright.
そのためならヤシロもあんたが使っていいわ。必要なことがあったら言ってちょうだい。
Okay.
00ユニットの状態は常時モニターしているから安心して。そのデータを反映した細かい調律はこっちでもやるから。あんたはとにかくどんな手段を使ってもいいから鏡スミカを正常にするのよ。
Understood.
最近ちょっと野暮用が多いから昼間は基地にいない時もあるし、会議になると長いから臨機応変にやってちょうだい。
Okay.
ただしできれば毎晩最低でも2日に1度は必ず私のところに連れてくること。何か
Please let me call the 00 unit Sumika from now on.
さっきからそうしてなかった？
It's an important part of the process.
分かったわ。結果さえ出れば呼び方なんて何でもいいわ。
Thank you.
じゃああとは任せたわよ。
I gotta make this work for Kasumi's sake. It's the only way I can ever make it up to her. And while I do still owe her an apology, she's got her hands full with Sumika at the moment, so I don't think it'd even register. In any case, my first order of business is to bring the 00 unit to bring Sumika back to her senses. I can apologize to Kasumi after the job's done.
この紐を取ればうまくいくはずなんです。あ、ごめんなさい。また失敗。この間初めてやったばかりなんです。
Kasumi.
教えてもらって。だけどできませんね。どうしてだろう。して。
Kasumi, try wrapping your pinky under the bottom. Go on. Now do the rest.
あ、はい。
She doesn't seem to recognize me at all. So why did she freak out yesterday? Did she know the world's version of me before I died? I should have asked Sensei about that. This Sumika is from this world. She's not the girl who used to wake me up every morning. Not the girl I talked to from my window every evening. Not the girl I made the promise with on Christmas. It's not her. I know that. And yet, she looks just like her. This is still Sumika. Huh? Of course I have to start crying the moment Sensei leaves. Ugh. What the hell's wrong with me? She's counting on me to man up. Sumika? Does she feel my emotions?